So, you want a bit of deprogramming. That's completely understandable. Sometimes we drift away from a hypnotist we know, someone we were comfortable with, or someone we allowed just a bit too much influence over ourselves. And it doesn't have to be that they've done anything wrong, or even that you feel uncomfortable. You can always go back to them and ask for it back. But your mind is your own thing. Your brain is intensely personal, and it's completely understandable to be able to want to have an objective view of it back. Well, as objective can be. And the goal of this session, in that case, is to allow you to drift into a trance. And what we will do is we'll associate a small little sound with a feeling of clarity, with a feeling of being pulled out, away from any trance, any effect, any post-hypnotic suggestions that you don't want to activate. And the sound of this is just going to be a bell. Just like that. Nice and easy, nice and simple, and I think quite symbolic as well. See, the same way a pendulum is symbolic with hypnosis, I think the idea of bells goes quite far back to the idea of being able to focus, the idea of clarity, that idea of feeling completely at ease, but also completely aware of everything around you. Almost the opposite of hypnotic state in some ways. Obviously, while you're in hypnosis you might still have awareness of what's around you, but it's deadened. It's more that you're focused on the words that your hypnotist is saying, that you might find yourself dropping down and away just by their tone of voice, or just by memories of falling away before, and associating that with different things, like the idea of just watching, just sinking, just falling and following, finding everything so attractive in what they say, finding it easy to follow along, finding it easy to drift on down, just nice and simply for them. And realistically, that's all I'm going to do now. I'm just going to allow your head to spin around my words, like the spiral you're seeing now, slowly swaying back and forth between ideas, between clues, between just those tiny little pockets of ideas, of thoughts in that emptying head of yours. And you didn't notice, but that's okay. Because you don't need to pay attention to what your head's doing at all times. You can trust your subconscious as a filter, as a gap, as a way to notice what's wrong, even if you can't tell at the time. The brain is very good at noticing patterns, and something I'd like to associate that with, something I'd like to pull from that, is the idea that we can use those patterns. Because obviously, if you want deprogramming, then you've been in a trance before. You know that feeling of heaviness in your eyes. You know that weight that can settle in all across you, leaving you nice and fuzzy and empty-headed, just able to follow, to fall, to sink, and all of these words as well just bring back those memories of being pulled down, of having your thoughts slow until it's like they never existed, reaching an asymptote, and just sailing away, always approaching zero, but never quite reaching it. Never quite reaching that finality, the end of the spiral, the last part of that final experience. And that's okay, because you don't need to be completely brainless to enjoy hypnosis. And being 99% brainless is pretty much there. Being all empty, being all fuzzy, being deep and heavy isn't a bad thing. I enjoy it quite myself. But having that compulsion to act against your own beliefs, your own concerns, your own mind, that's a problem. And that's what we're going to solve today. Just focus on me. Just allow your breathing to realize it's already slowed. Because you want to be hypnotized. So you're sitting back in a chair or a bed, just relaxing, sinking into it, noticing just how heavy everything can get, noticing just how light your head can feel. And it's not a bad lightheadedness. It's the idea that just everything can just be so nice and calm, so quiet, so blank. And like that, all we need to do is just notice that tiny little gap in your consciousness. That tiny little aspect that you know would pull you into sleep, would allow for that head of yours to just drift straight through the pillow. Just so easy to allow it to sink on down like that, wouldn't you say? That's right, just drifting down like this, just letting go. And all we want you to do is to drift, is to sink, is to fall, is to follow. But what we're going to try is a bit of visualization. A bit of a clue as to how deep you are. Is we're just going to have you imagine seeing yourself staring at that screen from over your shoulder. And you can see me as well, that shadowy figure, not quite distinct enough, but that's okay, because you don't need to worry about me. I'm just here to help. Just allowing me to spin a little idea in your head, a little clue, a little tiny idea to visualize yourself drifting away, to know where you are deep down, but to see yourself from the very top of the room. See yourself just floating with my words in your ears, and allowing yourself to drift through the ceiling, all the way up into the sky, seeing the building you're in, seeing the surrounding streets, all the lights, all the roads, that hustle and bustle that happens even late at night, the occasional car going by, the occasional just bus passing on by, just drifting further up, just like that, just so simple, intuitive, because we're allowing your brain to build this pattern, to know that it's just going to drift up. It's going to get further away. It's going to allow itself to just sink away from your body. Just like that. And all we can do now is we can have you just follow along. Just sink away. Just rise up into the sky, seeing the clouds pass you by in that foggy haze, and still knowing that your body's still sitting here, listening to my words, listening to my voice, just like that. Because all you need to do is associate the idea of being called back, being associated with the idea of just pulling that brain of yours back into your body, free of any influence, letting it just fall off you in the sky, and allowing yourself, on hearing the sound that you saw before, that bell that I'm holding, nice and golden, just allowing a wave of gold to emanate out from that town, from that building, from you, wiping everything away, anything unwanted cleansed at the sound of the bell, just like that. Just calling you back, just summoning you, pulling at those heartstrings, pulling at that mind of yours to return, to allow yourself to slowly and steadily wake up, to allow yourself to slowly, steadily, heavily pull yourself awake under your own power, with your own mind, realizing that any lasting hypnotic suggestions that you didn't want have now just fallen on by, just like that. And I'll leave you to wake up. I hope you enjoy.